gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Sydney Entertainment Centre as Triple M and Coca-Cola present the 1988 Supercross Masters. My name is Neil Crompton, and along with Mike and Andrew Raymond this evening we're going to present to you 31 very spectacular Supercross events. What a marvellous job they've done at the Entertainment Centre for the third year in a row, 1,200 tonnes of soil, transforming this complex into a mean Supercross outfit. Are you looking forward to it? We've got 31 events, including the State of Origin Challenge, the USA versus Australia, which is going to be a biggie, and we've got all the top riders from here and overseas to compete. We're also going to see the 12 and 13-year-old 80cc riders and also the 14 and 15-year-olds, along with the juniors between 14 and 15 on their 125s. Let's go on to the motocross show and welcome to the arena the Aussie squad doing battle in tonight's Coca-Cola Supercross Masters. Let's welcome. They're like Aussies, sort of like gangs, about as red as the jacket. That's called a mistake. Jimmy Ellis, Michael Holly, Varsity Warren and Flash Gordon Lord. Welcome the Americans, please. I'll get it right. Let's welcome the Aussies. Ladies and gentlemen, Craig Dack, the #1 plate holder of Australian motocross. Glenn Bell for Shell Team Honda. The 4-time winner of the Castrol Mr. Motocross, Stephen Gall, retiring after tonight and tomorrow night. And the winner of the Melbourne Supercross Masters, Peter Melton, riding for the Mulberry Yamaha team. There's Dacker, Glenn Bell, Stephen Gall and Peter Melton if he makes it to the top. Let's welcome them again, please. A nice warm round of applause for the Aussies. We're going to see some great stuff from them tonight. And Gordie to give away some Carrera goggles to boot. Let's go up to the #1 plate holder, the man who has twice picked up the Castrol Mr. Motocross title, who rode reasonably well in Melbourne a couple of weeks ago, who did a great job in Adelaide, and a fair job in Canberra at the Supercross Masters. See, if I G him up a bit, he's more likely to perform tonight. He's come out here in the craziest looking Oakley shades you've ever seen. You're looking forward to a big ride tonight. You are the man that we're really pinning the responsibility on here, Craig.
Well, I just hope we can go through with the job. We beat the Americans last time, about a month ago, down in Melbourne, and I know the Australian guys are really keen to do it again, so I think we can do it.
Did you practice okay?
Yeah, I felt pretty good. The track's quite good. I think that the American guy they brought out, John Savinsky, as everybody can see, he's built such a great track, and there's a lot of difficult obstacles in there, so it's a great track.
All right, we'll look forward to a big performance tonight from the #1 plate holder of Australian Motocross, Craig Dack. Make him feel welcome. And say good day to the folks over here. We're just about right to get started with our
First race tonight, the Triple M USA versus Australia Super Test. Who's it going to be, folks? The Yankees or the Aussies? Lining up for the USA in the first heat tonight, Fast Eddie Warren riding for Kawasaki West. Jimmy Ellis. Jojo Keller is out, having taken a bad fall in practice. His replacement will be Flash Gordon Ward. And for Australia riding plate #1, Craig Dack. Bike #4, Glenn Bell. And bike #6, the farewell appearance of Stephen Gall, Captain Australia. Gentlemen, let's start those engines.
Okay, so the bikes are on the line now beneath the Triple M and Coca-Cola start. Flash Gordon Ward on the Kawasaki KX250. Watch out for Craig Dack, #1 plate holder of Aussie Motocross. Jimmy Ellis there on the Kawasaki. In the middle of the grid on Jay, and on the outside on the Kawasaki West entry is Fast Eddie Warren. Watching the starter now. Bikes in gear, ready to go racing at the Entertainment Centre. Watch Glenn Bell on bike #4. And the gate goes down. Look at Stephen Gall, a huge start as they go through the left-hander for the first time. Gall on the outside on bike #1. Glenn Bell on the outside of him as they go over the Yokohama Bridge and through the left-hander. Stephen Gall leads on bike 1. Then Glenn Bell. Back in third place is... and through on the left-hander. Whoa! Goodness me, Gawley was tangled up in that, so Craig Dack, bike #1. What a great start.
It's Dack who leads it now, doing it for Australia and starting to jump away. Fast Eddie Warren's coming up. Let's cheer him on. Craig Dack riding, and Fast Eddie Warren for the USA closing it all the time. And Flash Gordon Ward for the USA is the next one back.
So Owen Dacker almost catches the top of the double jump, so it's Dack on 1 to Brian Collins Yamaha. And he's really got some pressure on him at the moment. Through on the inside and looking for a way round is Fast Eddie Warren on the Kawasaki. And Warren's really pushing at the back wheel of that bike at the moment. On the tabletop. Oh! Yellow flag out. Here comes Eddie Warren through on the inside. Craig Dack decides to take it easy across the double jump, so it's Warren on the Kawasaki. Then followed by Craig Dack. Craig Dack really getting in strife as he goes across the top of the bridge. Fast Eddie Warren gets the blue flag now for 1 lap to go. In second place we've got Craig Dack, then Flash Gordon Ward.
Fast Eddie looking good, and the Yanks looking good to open tonight with a first heat race win. Craig Dack still doing the best he can, and Gordy Ward putting on the show of shows. Laps running out though for Fast Eddie Warren. We're ready for the checkered flag. Let's bring him on to victory. Craig Dack is second. And here comes Flash Gordon.
Whoa! Flash Gordon gets totally out of control on the Kawasaki. The Triple M USA versus Australia, heat #1 over 4 laps. And a fine win goes to Eddie Warren. Stephen Gall having a bad run. Got away to a great start, got tangled up in the pack on the second lap. He'll be working hard now to try and get some points later this evening. Our next event, #2, the Castrol State of Origin, heat #1. All the details on page 6 of your Coca-Cola souvenir program on how to score your points for your favourite riders. They're on the Coke starting line now, set to get underway. This one once again is over 4 laps. We're looking at Mark Kirkman on bike #12, Glenn Poole on bike 14, David Mayhew on 10, Stephen Andrew on 8, then David Armstrong on 2, Steve Dinsdale from Queensland on 5, Daryl Atkins from New Zealand on the KX250 Kawasaki, and Shane King also from New Zealand. We're ready now to go racing. And David Mayhew breaks the line. The Victorian gets a bit out of shape on bike #10. He goes back to have another lash on the YZ250. Alongside him is Daryl Atkins. He just gets out of the way now. And also Stephen Dinsdale from Northern Queensland. He's been told.
Dinsdale was the top performer in Melbourne only a few weeks ago. See if Mayhew can get out quickly. We're ready to go racing. Dinsdale tries to separate the pack.
Riders go down. That was number 14 involved in that, Glenn Poole on the Suzuki. Dinsdale got tangled up in there as well. The yellow flag out, and in fact, David Mayhew decides to pull off. He sacrificed the lead.
Boy, was that a turn.
David Mayhew was in the lead, then he decided to pull out of it. I don't know why. The yellow flag is still out. Look at David Mayhew make a huge leap. Glenn Poole is up and running. Bit of bad luck for Steve Dinsdale, so let's take a look at the order here. Leading at the moment on the Kawasaki is Shane King, then Daryl Atkins, then further back in third place is Mark Kirkman on the Yamaha.
Just watch it now, the approach to the bridge where they all got caught up last time as they land on the back wheel. Pow! Over the top, beneath down, working down the back chute.
This looks like it's going to be a great heat. The Kawasaki rider doing a great job at the moment. The New Zealand champion doing a fine job. Round through the left-hander. Onto the Coca-Cola tabletop.
Darrell Atkins deserves plenty of support. Here he goes. Once again gets short there as they make the run to the Wreck Air Bridge. Down beneath it now. And Darrell Atkins, who was a star performer, a class performer in Melbourne, from New Zealand, out in front and doing it sweetly. Blue flag, 1 to go.
Number 12 in second place is Mark Kirkman. Kirkman riding for New South Wales. The two Kiwis, first and third at the moment, and the Queenslander in fourth place on bike number 8. Blue flag out. Glenn Poole's going to be disappointed after some good form in practice, but here comes the checker, and it's going to be a big win to Darrell Atkins from New Zealand. Atkins the winner. Then followed by Kirkman. In third place we had Shane King. Then followed by number 8, and that was Stephen Andrew on the Marlboro Yamaha out of Victoria. Well, a hectic start. What an incredible move then from David Mayhew, who in fact had the lead and then decided to bail out. He thought there was going to be a red flag and there wasn't.
That was sensational. He went behind the Drakes and it was all over for David. Still 2 good races to get us started. The Wreck Air USA versus Australia. Heat number 2 is the next one up. Over 4 laps with Jimmy Ellis, Flash Gordon Ward, Jim Hollywood Holly, taking on Glenn Bell, Peter Melton, and of course Craig Dack on bike number 1. That's heat number 2 coming up very, very shortly.
It's out there on the Kawasaki. Flash Gordon Ward, Craig Dack. On the outside we've got Glenn Bell. We're set now for a start. The gate drops and Glenn Bell makes a huge start. Glenn Bell through the left-hander on the Honda. Craig Dack on the inside, cops an elbow, but Glenn Bell leads the field. Then Dack on the inside, now tries to punch past, and here comes Craig Dack. A huge leap from Dacker as he goes through the left-hander for Marlborough.
Fantastic ride from Dack so far. He's starting to stretch it. Bell still back in second then. Holly, of course, trying to keep it up. Flash Gordon Ward. Bell under pressure now, down into the left-hander. Holly making his move, but it's still going to be on bike number 1, Craig Dack out in front. Here he comes. Just look at the style as he heads over the bridge, and on bike number 4 now starting to make it up very quickly. Right behind him into the left-hander. But Dack is starting to stretch it now as he works over the beneath now the Yokohama Bridge and the short straight.
Flash Gordon Ward's got some trouble over there at the moment on the Kawasaki. He's up and running once again, but what a tremendous ride here from Craig Dack, who's putting in the Coke tabletop, getting plenty of air underneath the Yamaha. Then Glenn Bell on the Honda, and in third place is Jim Hollywood Holly.
Holly was starting to make a lot of ground there on Bell. He does over this stop, but really baubles it on the Wreck Air High Bridge. Dack, meanwhile, though, is cutting them to ribbons. Dack in front on bike number 1. Here he comes. Blue flag out. Let's bring him home to victory. 1 to go for Craig Dack. Glenn Bell in second, and Jim Hollywood Holly of the USA is third. Once again, Flash Gordon Ward here over the jump. Means business tonight. No legs off the bars.
Here comes the checkered flag. Craig Dack's going to score his first big win of the evening. Let's hear it for Craig Dack. Great ride. Second goes to Glenn Bell on bike number 4. And Jim Hollywood Holly for the USA in third position. Then followed by number 11, Peter Melton on the Yamaha for Marlborough. But a fine win there to Craig Dack. And here comes Flash Gordon Ward on the Kawasaki. Whoa! Go for it, Gordy. And Jimmy Ellis on the Kawasaki. That was event number 3, brought to you by Wreck Air. Wreck Air Hire have been fantastic in the last couple of days, helping us put together this Supercross circuit, and they've done a fine job. Event number 4 is the Carrera State of Origin, Heat 2 over 4 laps. You can add to your program number 12, Mark Kirkman. Also out there is Greg Scott on 16, Dean Burt from Victoria on 7, David Mayhew on 10, Jimmy Deacon on 3, Stephen Dinsdale on 5, Shane King and also Darrell Atkins, both of New Zealand. State of Origin, heat number 2, brought to you by Carrera Goggles, one of our many fine sponsors, and they are in the starters' hands. They've been holding them on the line for a fair way tonight. We're getting some amazing starts. Stephen Dinsdale concentrating hard as he really rips into it with the Honda, but the man that came out very well was David Mayhew. David Mayhew on the inside, bike number 10 from Victoria. Then in second place is Shane King. Darrell Atkins is up to third place in the Kawasaki, and Dean Bird in fourth on bike number 7. Oh, and one of the Yamaha riders in a lot of trouble there. Jimmy Deacon in strife as he goes off the end of the tabletop and has caught one of the officials. Round through the left-hander. The leader at the moment on bike, letter S. Shane King, the yellow flag. No, the red flag has come out and the event will be stopped.
I think that was a good idea, Neil, to red flag it. One of the track marshals just getting clipped on the way through down into the left-hander there. And the organisers deciding a red flag just so that the medics can come in and treat the official who received a good old crack on the side. And away they go and getting the break very quickly on 3, getting out of the start. Isdale out quickly with them as well as they work their way up to the bridge. Here they come for the almost up over the table up for the first time. David Mayhew getting plenty of there. Kelly getting through there as well, and Atkins making a break. Now Atkins trying to get up. He makes it up into the 4 now as they bobble over the top of the bridge, almost catch each other up. Our race leader, though, is managing to absolutely split away from the field.
Well, it's been a tremendous start from David Mayhew on the Yamaha. Comes round through the left-hander and up to the tabletop. Mayhew followed by Dean Burt. Darryl Atkins in 3rd place. 14 is Glenn Poole. Pooley really going for it on the Suzuki. He didn't make a very good start, but by gee, he's making up some ground at the moment. The double jump over the back, the wreck hair double jump is really causing a few dramas tonight.
You're not wrong. Watch Dean Burt the next time he catches it. They come back past, they go David Mayhew, but Dean Burt this time is getting closer. They head down to the left-hander and it's elbow to elbow. Mayhew takes it back again as Burt up on the inside of him, the two of them. Still Mayhew hanging on, Burt down on the inside to the bridge and takes the lead. Fantastic riding. Down now, but not to be denied. Mayhew comes again. Really working hard now. Dean Burt, here he comes up now with the blue flag about to fly with 1 to go. Let's bring him on home. Dean Burt, you. Then Darryl Atkins coming up from New Zealand. Blew out, it's going to be a tight finish.
Well, this is going to be pretty interesting. Dean Burt is going hard at the moment on bike number 7. Getting a curious mixture of point scores this evening in both the State of Origin and the USA Challenge. Out with the checkered flag, great ride from Dean Burt. 2nd goes to Darryl Atkins, 3rd to Glenn Poole and 4th to David Mayhew. Scotty on bike number 16 gets radical on the Pro Cycles Triple M entry, and followed by Jimmy Deacon and Stephen Dinsdale from Northern Queensland having a pretty bad run there on the Honda number.
80cc 12 to 13-year-olds. We're in the starters' hands. And they're off and racing, and what a start by goes Stacey Oldman doing it for Kawasaki West. From New Zealand taking the lead up over the bridge on the 80cc's and looking good. Into the first corner and up over the tabletop. This looks like a monster for these youngsters. Bike 14 in there in 2nd, that's Wayne McKinney. He's from Wollongong in New South Wales. They're a bit slower but more spectacular than the big guys. But look at Alderman go out in the lead. Over the stutter bumps along the main straightaway and into that left-hand hairpin turn. The field spread evenly as they come under the tunnel and make their way up over the bridge. Alderman's got this gap well and truly done. That's 1 lap down. He's got 3 more to go. 14, McKinney still in 2nd. Bike 488, John DeStefano still in 3rd. We've got a rider down on the tabletop. He's on a Kawasaki bike number 35. It's Tiffany Greenwood. Hit the hay bales over the tabletop. But let's get back to the action. Bike number 0, Stacey Oldman from New Zealand. Out in the lead, he's led it from start. He's led it 2 laps and he's looking good for the finals. 14 still then, that's Wayne McKinney in 2nd with bike 40. 488, this Stephanie in 3rd. The field is spread over this Sydney Entertainment Centre Supercross track, and the track is looking good. Riders everywhere, it's hard to follow, but feast your eyes on top of the bridge. Bike number 0, that's Stacey Oldman. Blue flag time for Stacey, meaning 1 lap to go. He's led it from start to finish, and he's looking good. Still there in 2nd, but he's trying to bridge the gap, but I don't think he's got the time. That's Wayne McKinney doing it for Centre Stand, Kawasaki and Mad. The rider's still getting the 1 lap to go, but it's Alderman, and he's looking good up over the bridge. Ladies and gentlemen, when he gets up to the tabletop, put your hands together. Start to finish, Stacey Alderman takes the win, one-handed, and look at that style. Wayne McKinney takes the second, 1-footer for the crowd. And in third place, bike 488, John Di Stefano.
About much. However, many of the top teams insist that only Castrol TTS is used for the critical job.
And the guys are on the line once again to call the race. Andrew Raymond.
ADCC action once more. This is the 12 to 13-year-olds. This is Heat 2. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. We're off and racing. ADCC action. The field is close into the first 180-degree hairpin corner, and look at them dip and dive and slip and slide over the Yokohama Bridge they go. Bike 22, he's got the lead. That's Ian Cunningham doing it for Goulburn Power Centre. There is bikes everywhere as they go over the tabletop and head down towards Sanders Little Helpers. Up over the wreck-air, higher bridge, under the bridge they go. It's still bike 22. Ian Cunningham is looking good. Around the hairpin corner in second position, we've got bike number 86, and that's Cale Ward from New South Wales on the Honda. Hotly followed by bike 441, and that's Paul Grant doing it for El Greco Hotel in third. Things are clustering up from second to fifth, and this is looking good. It's still Ian Cunningham out in the lead. He got the whole shot at the start, a misconfusion, but he's out there in the lead over the Yokohama Bridge he goes. Don't forget Cale Ward's still in there in second. He's trying to bridge this gap. He's not going to give up until the checkered flag drops. 441, who's that? That's Paul Grand, almost went down over the tabletop. A repetition of what happened last moto almost. So let's get back to the leaders. Bike number 22, that's Ian Cunningham, still looking good as he goes round the hairpin. I can notice the blue flag from PJ getting ready. 1 lap to go, stir him on, the challenge is coming. 441, that's Paul Grant, he's taken over Cale Ward's position of second. Bike number 20, what air on the 80cc. That's Joel Elliott, and he is looking good in the air. 1/2 lap to go for Ian Cunningham, and he'll be a proud youngster when this one's over. Paul Grant is not going to give up, but give him a hand. Bike number 22, Ian Cunningham takes the win. Paul Grant will take the second, and in third place, bike 86, Cale Ward.
Track, good opportunity to talk to Craig Dack, who's already picked up a win so far this evening. Craig, a great start.
Well, yeah, it's a good start for Australia. I don't know how we're going in the points so far, but I got off to 2 good starts, which is very important in this type of racing, and I don't feel quite comfortable just yet. I feel like as there's more races, I'll get more and more comfortable. So, yeah, good start for me.
Yeah, excellent start. You're getting a great response from the crowd. They're obviously enjoying a fine Aussie performance. What about a hand for Craig Dack's good start tonight for the Aussies? He's done a great job. We'll have a chat to you later on in the show and see how things are going, Craig. He rides for the Brian Collins Yamaha team. Jim Hollywood. Holly, I think, you picked up a third or something so far. How are the Americans faring?
Well, we're faring okay. It seems like the Australians are ahead right now, but there's still a lot more racing to come and a lot more excitement. I think the crowd will enjoy it.
There's always a very big difference between practicing and racing. You've had a chance now to do some racing on the track. How does it feel?
Well, the track seems to be really good. John Savitsky, who builds them in the United States, did a great job here, you know, and the crew that he worked with down here put together an excellent track, and I think it's a real technical track.
Yeah, obviously it's the sort of place where you need to be in pretty good shape too. Some of the people in the audience may be interested to know that a professional motocross rider such as yourself has to put in so much effort to stay in shape. Can you tell us what sort of things you've done, say for example in the last 6 months? Let's get back on with the show. This is the Australasian Dirt Bike State of Origin heat number 3 over 4 laps. And the riders are on the line at the moment. Let's slip into it. Set for a start beneath the Coca-Cola start bridge. And Jimmy Deacon makes a great start on the Yamaha. Deacon on the outside, number 3 from Queensland. He was the winner at the Supercross Masters here last year. Dean Burt goes into second, then Darrell Atkins. Further back in 4th place on bike number 8 is Stephen Andrew from Victoria, and Andrew really arguing on the inside, and Stephen Andrew comes through to second. What a tremendous performance. Stephen Andrew is running hot. He's all the way out of Geelong in Western Victoria, and he knows how to hook a machine across the top of the Yokohama Bridge. Dean Burt the leader on 7, then Jimmy Deacon. Oh, should I say Stephen Andrew? Darrell Atkins, he's done a great job as well. Oh! And down goes the Yamaha. Goodness gracious me. Jimmy Deacon absolutely throws his YZ away. He blew it completely coming off the top of the Rec Air double jump and lost it. Plenty of drama. We've lost the other Marlboro Yamaha rider as well, and it's all happening here between David Armstrong and Greg Scott as well. So we've got Dean Burt in total control on Yamaha number 7 at the moment. Then Darrell Atkins. That double jump is really causing some heartache. Well, Jimmy Deacon about to be lapped now by Dean Burt, who gets the blue flag. 1 lap to go. Details for this event are on page 7 of your Coca-Cola souvenir program. So less than half a lap to go now for Dean Burt, the youngster from the Brian Collins Yamaha motocross team. Here he comes beneath the Coke Bridge. And the checkered flag comes out. A great ride, Dean Burt. Second place goes to Darrell Atkins from New Zealand. Then we had David Armstrong from Queensland, Greg Scott from New South Wales, and Shane King on the Kawasaki, followed then by Glenn Poole on the Suzuki. Well, another fine ride from the Brian Collins team. They've done a good job tonight picking up lots of points, and that's the aim of the game.
Tonight's Supercross Masters will run heavily supported for a gear higher. When it comes to building a Supercross circuit indoors, life gets complicated.
Jason Webster, Glenn Robinson, Tyron Benson, Tony Elliott, Gavin Basley and Joshua Donald. We're set now for a start. Watch out for Josh Donald because he's very, very quick. And the Yamaha riders made a good start. Joshua Donald on the inside. He's riding for Triple M and Pro Cycles. He goes up over the top of the Yokohama Bridge, and Joshua Donald has the lead, Andrew Raymond.
Josh Donald, the next king of the 80cc's, doing it for Triple M, and he is looking good out the lead on bike 272. He's doing it for Triple M and Pro Cycles. He's on the Yamaha. Back there in about 4th position, we've got Clayton Chapman on bike number 3. He's decked out the green Kawasaki gear. He is doing it for Kawasaki West. Watch Chapman, he's got it inside him and he won't give up until the checkered flag drops. But Josh Donald has cleared house and he's down. Just on the other side of the tabletop, there is bikes going everywhere. All you can say would be dusted, busted and disgusted. Down by the end of the tabletop. Donald is back up and in second, a minor stumble, but the field has certainly spread itself out. Bike number 21 has got the lead. That's Tony Elliott doing it for Willing MC and Tycon. Right on his tail is Josh Donald. Donald got the whole shot, and I mean he got the whole shot. And he is looking real good in there in second. We've got a red flag out down by the end of the tabletop. A rider is down. I'm not sure who it is. We can't tell from our vantage point. They've stopped the race momentarily and we'll have it action back for you in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Andrew. For your report there, it's nice to report that our lady official, Anne New, who was hit a little earlier tonight, just speaking with her downstairs here at the entertainment centre, and she said to pass on her thanks for everyone who cheered the fact that she was okay. So she's up and about, and we'll bring you an upgrade on, or an update I should say, on just how everyone is after the little coming together down there in the turn. We're doing it for rat shirts. Joshua Donald was doing so well on 272. Can't see Joshua there at the moment, but bike number 11 is up there. That's Glenn Robinson. 40 starting out here on the outside is Jason Webster. Lining up also Clayton Chapman, who was running strongly. So I'm trying to get one of the machines up at the starting gate. Then I'll have almost the complete start field ready to go. Some little hold up there on the gate at the Coca-Cola starting gate. Keep an eye on Clayton Chapman. On the Kawasaki West entry, he got away very, very quickly. 5 to run, Clayton Chapman, Jason Webster, Glenn Robinson, Tony Elliott, and of course Joshua Donald. Okay, we're just about ready to go racing. And out of the start very quick, and Clayton Chapman up on the inside, but he's been already passed here on the inside as they work their way down through the left-hander and up towards the bridge. 3 wide straight here as they go over the top and work their way down. And it'll be 21 leading the pack as they come around. But Tony Elliott getting plenty of air there. Clayton Chapman down on the inside. Joshua Donald also making a great scrap there on 272 as they work the back chute up to the wreck air bridge. Little careful that time as they duck beneath Yokohama. And a little bit of elbow action coming into it now.
Back up over the Yokohama Bridge, and Tony Elliott looking the goods at the moment. Clayton Chapman doing it for Kawasaki West, takes inside, running up onto the tabletop. Josh Donald slowing down a bit back in third, but he won't give up at all. But the contest at the moment is Elliott and Chapman up over the Rick Air High and under Yokohama. This is where the controversy was before, a bit of push me, shove you, but it was Elliott who came out the best. And here comes Chapman again, goes down the inside. A good block there by Elliott. Elliott and Chapman going side by side.
No baloney, Tony Elliott is really serving it up to them as he comes up towards the Reggae High Bridge. Holt's probably a 2 bike length gap now under Yokohama and closing it up all the time. Here's of course Clayton Chapman riding for Kawasaki West. Once again up over the bridge, dropping down. We'll have the blue flag this time around. 1 to go. 21 will still lead. Chapman coming down here on the inside, still chasing the lead. And as they swing over now towards the back straight, it's still Tony Elliott, the race leader.
And Elliott really is looking the goods over the wreck air higher and under Yokohama. Chapman is hot in pursuit. He can smell the rubber of Elliott's back tire. And here comes Chapman, the last minute duck underneath. It might be enough. The winner, Tony Elliott, will take this one. Clayton Chapman will take the second ahead. How about a round of applause for Josh Donald, who will take the third. Bike 11, Glenn Robinson came in fourth. And bike number 40, Jason Webster, doing it for Nana Goon Honda, takes the fifth.
Yeah, that was good close stuff. Yokohama, of course, sponsor heat number 2 tonight of the 125. Brad McCarthy, Michael Mayhew, Jamie Cunningham, Jason Hall, Tim Ashenai, Rick Timmons, Paul Davies and Justin Lerman will line up in heat number 2. Don't forget, there are still a few seats available for Saturday night's Coca-Cola Supercross Masters Grand Final here. And the box office is open outside. It's almost a sellout, but there are some really good seats still available. Check it out at the box office before you leave tonight. Yokohama, sponsors of heat number 2. They're ready to go racing. Jason Lerman slow to get off the starting gate, and 88 jumps her, just bounds out of there. That, of course, was Greg Timmons, and Greg will take over the lead. Yes, he does, over the Yokohama Bridge. Here he comes up now, halfway. Oh, some good gouging going on right behind. But Greg doing a fight out in front on 88. Being chased hard, though. Jamie Cunningham getting a little bit closer as they go up over the wreck air bridge. Now down beneath Yokohama and into the left-hander.
And as they go up over the Yokohama Bridge, bike 88 really is looking good. That's Greg Timms. He's from New South Wales on the Kawasaki. The scrap for second is still on, and it is looking good. Bike number 25, Jamie Cunningham. 253, Paul Davis, and bike 300, Justin Learman are all scrapping in there for second. Further way back, Jason Hall on bike number 30. Over Yokohama once more they go. Number 88, Greg Timms, up over the tabletop. And look at the air these 125s are getting. This is amazing. Keeping in mind all these riders are between the ages of 14 and 15. Under Yokohama one more time. The blue flag will come out next lap around.
Timmins, the race leader, Cunningham still in second. They're holding about the same gap. Gets a little bit closer as they go over Yokohama. Here we have it, folks. Blue flag out. 1 to go. 88 is your race leader, still Greg Timmins. And staying fairly close to him is Jamie Cunningham on 25 as they work their way up towards the Wreck Our Hire Bridge. Third starting to close up just a little bit now as they make it over there. Paul Davies back in third. And the leader finds himself under a little bit of pressure now. Heading up to the Yokohama Bridge for the final time. Greg Timmins comes out of the last corner. Let's give him a cheer. Timmins, your race winner. 25 picks up the second, and 253 is Paul Davies who gets the third. A great Yokohama heat number 2.
The Kiwis have got 17 points. Victoria have 14. New South Wales has 10. Queensland with 4. That's the updated point score as we head now to event number 10. Presented to you by Honda.
How do the Kiwis make the state of origin, Neil?
Who cares? And away they go, and the man that makes a huge start on machine letter E is fast Eddie Warren on the Kawasaki. Look at Eddie Warren go for it on the KX250 across the top of the Yokohama Bridge. Stephen Gall, 4-time Mr. Motocross champion, in second place at the moment. Then Craig Dack on the inside of him. Craig Dack tries to squeeze through. He's got Jim Hollywood Holly in fourth place, and there goes Dacker. Craig Dack to second. Stephen Gall drops back to fourth now as Hollywood Holly goes through. And behind him on the Mulberry Yamaha, getting all sorts of punishment and a pretty rough ride on bike number 11 is Peter Melton.
It's fast Eddie Warren, the USA, the race leader. Craig Dack trying to do it for second, and Hollywood Jim Holly coming out strongly after Dack as they get to the top of the Wreck Air Bridge. They're underneath Yokohama, and there is a titanic struggle going on for second spot. All the time, though, fast Eddie Warren is Mr. Steady. Here he comes up to complete one more. Craig Dack going back after him. Hollywood Jim Holly is the next one. Then followed by Peter Melton. The next one is Stephen Gore and Flash Gordy Ward, who ain't too flash just at the moment.
Big points coming up for America here, and the first win of the night for Eddie Warren on the Kawasaki. Round through the left-hander, but Craig Dack is closing. Let's urge him on. Craig Dack comes through the left-hander now. They get the blue flag for just 1 lap to go. Craig Dack on top of the Coca-Cola tabletop through the left-hander. He'd have to make a big run down here if he's going to be able to catch Eddie Warren. On the top of the wreck here, round through the left-hander, beneath the bridge. He gets very close now as they go through. 2 left-handers to go. Here comes Craig Dack. He makes a big run on the inside, and Craig Dack is through. He almost gets him. Oh, goodness me. Craig Dack trying very hard for Australia, but could not quite get there, and fast Eddie Warren takes the win. Tremendous ride from the American, a tremendous ride from the Aussie. Let's give them both a hand. They put in a fine performance. Well, that's the sort of stuff we like to see. That was brought to you by Honda. Heat number 3 of the USA versus Australia International Challenge. Just taking a look at those point scores again, Mike. We've got New Zealand 17 in a state of origin. We've got Victoria with 14, New South Wales with 10, and Queensland with 4. New Zealand, a state?
Was won by a separate state now.
I think so, by decree. Maybe the new Governor-General can do that.
Okay, event number 11, Australian Dirt Bike presents State of Origin Heat number 4. Mark Herman, Glenn Poole, Dean Burt, David Mayhew, David Armstrong, Stephen Dinsdale, Shane King, and Daryl Atkins. Getting strong in the State of Origin. I think we could do almost a language test rather than a drug test. Spot the Kiwi tonight in the State of Origin.
Some pretty good runners in this one. David Mayhew's shown some great form tonight on bike number 10. Glenn Poole on 14, David Armstrong on 2. Watch out for Dean Burt. Dean Burt makes a huge start. Burt on the inside from Victoria on the YZ250, riding for Brian Collins Yamaha. David Armstrong from Queensland in second place. Up on the inside is another Queenslander, Jimmy Deacon. Deacon riding for the Mulberry Yamaha team. In fourth place is Shane King on the Kawasaki. There's Kawasaki's in second, fourth and fifth. And then we've got Darryl Atkins. A bad run for David Armstrong. Whoa! 4 riders tangled up in that one. The yellow flag comes out. Oh, goodness me.
That's a bridge too far. Not going to stop the race leader though. Dean Byrne, he is just opening the taps all the way. Clearing out nicely. Stephen Dinsdale and David Armstrong. Really nicely. Armstrong still there in second spot. But Burt was just a little slower that time over the Wreck Air Bridge. Zips it out under Yokohama and still opens that gap all the way. Yellow out over there. Some fantastic stuff mid-track, but they're not going to stop Dean Burt. There he goes, bike number 7. Still doing it comfortably, still running in second spot. Here's David Armstrong. And the gap's still about the same.
Watching now for Dean Burt as he goes across the top of the Yokohama Bridge. Through the left-hander at Coca-Cola. The blue flag comes out, 1 lap to go. David Armstrong on the Kawasaki in second, Jimmy Deacon in third. On the outrider Yamaha, David Mayhew. Shane King.
They're still looking sharp though. Let's let this one crowd on bike number 7, and here he comes, checkered flag at the ready. Go for it, Dean Byrne. Will take the win. Coming up for a second spot, going to be Dunsdale's third. Deacon getting over there. Still clear of David Mayhew. And our Kiwis not really performing so well in that heat tonight. No.
Jimmy Ellis on the far right-hand side of the grid as we face the riders on the KX250. Craig Dack looking for another win here. He's on the outside of the grid. Peter Melton on the Yamaha number 11. And Glenn Bell is replacing Phil Sargent, who copped an injury. So Belly goes out for Shell Team Honda. 3 top Aussies doing battle with 3 top Americans. Heat 4 of the International Challenge. And we're just waiting now to clear the circuit. I can give you an update on these points. 23 points for USA, Australia with 22. 1 point the difference going into this heat. And so it's critical for the Aussies to do well. Craig Dack already has a win under his belt. We've seen some good stuff tonight from Flash Gordon Ward and Hollywood Holly. But I reckon this one could be out of Holly and Dack. Let's see what happens now as they watch the starter. Triple your music and triple your Supercross with Triple M as they get underway now.
Oh, Jimmy Holly trying to go clear over the starting gate.
Both the Americans, Jim Ellis and Holly, breaking rank.
Craig Dack's got something to say about it too. A bit of feeling coming in here.
Well, Craig still to put his goggles on at the moment. Bit of confusion on the line. Some of the boys have been suggesting they've been held too long on the line tonight, which often causes a little bit of aggravation. Now let's see what happens. The lights are flashing. And Craig Dack makes a very good start. Dack on the outside, he's going to do it the long way round. And Craig Dack blows it completely. Glenn Bell goes to the lead on bike number 4. Jim Hollywood Holly in second place. Holly tries for a run on the inside, almost takes out Glenn Bell with him. Then in third place at the moment is Peter Melton. Craig Dack is stone motherless last.
Well, we've got one Aussie up there trying to hold off a horde of Americans. Glenn Bell is your race leader. And the Yanks are coming on the inside there. And what a ride there for Holly as they went up, and he comes charging back on the inside again. Jim Holly is your race leader. Edging out on bike number 12, and there he goes again. Down the outside, Glenn Bell. Hollywood Jim Holly, though, still leads it, heading up to the Wreck Air Bridge, and there's the fantastic strap for second. As coming back under the Yokohama Bridge, yet again, Melton is there, and right on the inside is Glenn Bell.
Peter Melton's putting in a sensational ride at the moment on the Yamaha. He's closed up to within 3 bike lengths of the leader, Jim Holly. Holly off the end of the tabletop through the left-hander for Castrol. Craig Dack is doing everything he can to get up there and get some points, and he really needs them at the moment. And Jimmy Ellis behind him. So the leader at the moment from the USA is Jim Holly. In second place and closing just a little bit is Peter Melton for Australia. And in third place on the Honda is Glenn Bell. The blue flag comes out, 1 to go.
My godfather, Gordy Ward, mistook the whole turn down there. Straight back out in the pits and rode in again. That's what you call a pit stop in Supercross.
Checkered flag being prepared now. Half a lap to go. Jim Holly is going to pick up more valuable points for the USA. Event number 12 brought to you by Marlborough. And Jim Hollywood Holly takes a win. Second placing Peter Melton from Australia. Third goes to another Australian, Glenn Bell. And fourth placing to Craig Dack. Further behind in fifth on the Kawasaki would have been Flash Gordy, and bringing the field home in sixth, Kawasaki, Jimmy Ellis.
Probably one of the hottest races of the night. Peter Melton, great form there. And I guess, although Jim Holly won it, we have wall-to-wall Australians behind it. That'll certainly do their points chances awful lot of good.
Situation in the state of origin now. Victoria with 21 points. New Zealand with 18. Scott riding for Triple M and Pro Cycles. Mark Kirkman on 12. David Mayhew on 10. Stephen Andrew on 8. Jimmy Deacon in the middle of the grid on number 3. David Armstrong from Queensland on number 2. And the two Kiwis, Darryl Atkins and Shane King. A full grid of riders. Some desperate stuff here. The state of origin is very close at the moment. Watch out for David Mayhew and also watch David Armstrong. They've been very quick. We're racing once again. James Deacon makes a very good start on the Marlborough Yamaha. Up on the outside was Greg Scott, but he got shuffled right back and one rider has gone down. Round through the left-hander and across the top of the Cope tabletop, and it's Jimmy Deacon, David Mayhew and Mark Kirkman, 1, 2 and 3 for Yamaha. So the Yamaha is doing very well. Greg Scott is in fourth place riding for Triple M, and then we've got the first Kawasaki in the field ridden by David Armstrong.
Jimmy Deacon is your race leader as he heads up over the top of Yokohama this time. Mayhew's still doing it superbly on bike number 12. Not too far back behind him, of course, is David Mayhew. On 10 as they sweep through Marlborough corner. Still Deacon in superb control this time to Recker. But he's going to be under a little more pressure here very, very quickly. Kirkham closing it as they go down to the left hand, but he manages to fight away again, Deacon, over Yokohama. And with a couple of laps still on his side, he's absolutely blitzing the field. Second, Mark Kirkham is still there. David Mayhew and Kirkham have been having an absolute brawl here for second and third. But it's Deacon barely in front under the Yokohama.
We're just about getting set now for the blue flag. And this is a very interesting situation in the state of origin. Jimmy Deacon on the Weiser 250 Yamaha. Then Mark Kirkman on 12. Then David Mayhew on 10. Greg Scott on 16. And David Armstrong on the Kawasaki number 2. It's a pretty good ride from Jimmy Deacon. He was the winner here last year for the Marlborough team. He went very quickly over the top for Yokohama. Coming up now to the checkered flag, a big win for Queensland, and Jimmy Deacon takes it for the Yamaha team, second placing to number 12, and a fine ride from Mark Kirkman, and third place goes to number 10, David Mayhew, and a great scrap there for fourth place, and I think it went in favour of Greg Scott on bike number 16 alongside him, and very close beside him was David Armstrong.
When the gate drops like English motocross riders, there's no quarter asked or given.
From one type of motocross to another, the mighty mites of the future. Event number 14, we're in the starters' hands. Any moment they're off and racing, and what a start it was. 6 of the best going at it in the Carrera RL8 JDCC. This is Heat 1. A duration of 4 laps. The race leader, bike number 32, that's Stephen Hill doing it for Bobby Campbell. And looking good, bike 28 up the outside, that's Jason Polkowski. He's looking good on the Kawasaki. Bike 29, that's Jamie Hansen. Bit muddled up at the start, but he's making his way back, and hopefully he can get up and join the rest of the crowd. The first 5, you could throw a blanket over them, they're that close. Up over the Yokohama Bridge, and it's still bike 32, Stephen Hill looking really good. Up over the tabletop, 167, Jenny Fiesu in second. 28, Jason Polkowski, 264, Adam Burton. 29, Damie Hansen, and 217, Peter Lovering. all over the tabletop under Yokohama. The leaders go there slowly spreading this field out, the 80cc's, and they are doing it in the dirt. And bike 32, this big track's not going to frighten him one bit. He has got the throttle all the way. Over the tabletop, third, fourth and fifth are go. This one, 2 laps to go, bike 217, a bit off course down there. There's one bike down at the end of the tabletop, that's bike 29, Jamie Hansen. Into the hay bales he goes, but he's back up and he's going to be off and riding again. The yellow flag is still out, and so is the blue. 1 lap to go. For bike 32, Stephen Hill, he's let it from go, and it looks like he'll lead it to woe. Up over the wreck, how higher he goes, and this bloke is looking good under the Yokohama bridge. Bike 167's back there in second, that's Jenny Pies, who I think is in second. I'm a bit confused, the rider down is in the group. But how about a hand, bike number 32? Stephen Hill will take this one. 167, Jenny Pies will take the second, and Jason Borkowski, I think it was, took the third place.
Thank you very much, Andrew Raymond. The situation in the State of Origin Challenge at the moment, Victoria with 24 points, New Zealand with 18, Queensland with 17, and they're just 1 point in front of New South Wales now with 16 points. Event number 15, and away they go. Round through the left-hander. These guys really go for it on the 80s. You can see some fine riding from them. It's Joshua Donald in the lead, riding for Triple M. Round through the left-hander and coming up towards the Coke tabletop. Joshua Donald has the lead there. Jason Andrew up into second place. And Jason Andrew doing a great job on the Honda. We've got Yamaha leading. Honda in second place. Honda in third place with number 26 at the helm. That's Nigel Arnold. And further back in fourth place, riding one of the little Kawasaki's on number 253, is Paul Davies. Up to the top for Yokohama. This is a great lead from Josh Donald.
He's a Triple M boy and he's looking sharp out there, Joshua Donald, opening that gap all the time. Still running in second, Jason Andrews. Maybe, oh, another one down. Bucks the dust. 26 actually, get involved there. He's looking pretty sharp earlier, but he has come down lickety split.
The tabletop is definitely taking its toll. That's 2 riders in the last 2 events. But it's bike 272, Joshua Donald. He's a Triple M Pro Cycles rider. That's 2 laps down. He was in the 125s earlier and caused complete mayhem, and he's doing the same here in this event 15 on your program, the Castrol RLH 80cc. All the riders you can see on the track now are between the ages of 14 and 15 years. This is Heat 2. Over Yokohama goes Josh Donald, and he is looking stylish. 1 lap to go. A low trajectory speed jumps to go things, Josh. He goes down into the far end of the Sydney Entertainment Centre. Up towards Wreck Air and under Yokohama. He's got about half a lap remaining until PJ waves that magical checkered flag. A fair way back to second. I think in second it's Jason Andrews on bike number 3, but Donald has opened this up. Put your hands together from go to woe, Joshy Donald. Bike number 3 also put your hands together. Jason Andrew will be in second. And bike 253 a long way back is Paul Davies on the Kawasaki for third. Fourth and fifth place will be number 26 Nigel Arnold and 85 Jamie Lamb.
What about the points situation, Neil?
I've got good news. Australia leading by 2 points, 31 to 29. The Aussies 2 points in front, folks.
Wowee!
And on the line, we've got Jim Hollywood Holly, Jimmy Ellis, Fast Eddie Warren doing battle with Glenn Bell, Stephen Gall and Peter Melton. We really need an Aussie win here right now. Glenn Bell, the man to watch on 4. He's alongside Holly. On the other side of the grid, we've got Peter Melton. Watch out for Stephen Gall in the middle of the grid on bike number 6. Ready now for a start as the Coke starting gate goes down, and Glenn Bell makes a huge start, but coming out in the middle on the Kawasaki was Eddie Warren, but now Peter Melton goes to the lead over the top of the Yokohama bridge, and Peter Melton has the lead for Yamaha. Eddie Warren in second place, Stephen Gall in third, then Jim Hollywood Holly, and a bad start by Jimmy Ellis.
Peter Melton is the leader, but he's about to be attacked here on the outside. Glenn Bell also in there as we sweep down to the bottom third.
Well, Bell's really dropped plenty of time with that prang at the end of the first straight. And now the pressure really on Peter Melton. Let's get behind the Aussie. He's being attacked by the Yank at the moment. Go for it, Peter Melton. He's from Queensland. On the wise at 250. Look at Fast Eddie Warren on the outside. Here comes Fast Eddie. Side by side as they go over the top for Wreck Air. And Eddie Warren really doing battle at the moment. Gets pushed out wide. Now tries for the inside. Makes the run to the top for Yokohama. Oh, and Peter Melton almost goes down. Fast Eddie flies through the air as he leads Peter Melton. Then Jim Hollywood Holly, followed by Stephen Gall. And the Yanks look like they're going to pick that point break right up again as they sweep beneath Yokohama. Fast Eddie really firing out in front. Jimmy Ellis a bit off the pace behind Glenn Bell. This was really the race that Glenn Bell had to do something in. Blue flag out now with 1 to go. Fast Eddie Warren of the USA will lead them. Peter Melton in second. And Hollywood, Jim Holly looking for second place. Really putting the pressure on here and will take it. That moves them back. Fast Eddie Warren, the leader from Holly as they move down the backstretch, and Peter Melton. So it's going to be a 1-2 for Uncle Sam. Fast Eddie Warren coming up to take the checkered flag. Beautiful ride. Jim Hollywood Holly takes second. And Australia's Peter Melton takes third, just clear of Stephen Gall for Australia in fourth place. Well, that puts the point score in a precarious position in terms of local victory. The Americans picking up a 1-2 there. So when we get to event number 18 for rat shirts in the USA versus Australia Challenge heat number 6, we really need to see a win from Craig Dack, Peter Melton or Stephen Gall. Heat number 6 challenge. 4 laps. Glenn Poole on the Suzuki. Greg Scott for Triple M and Pro Cycles. Stephen Andrew on 8. Dean Burt on 7. Jimmy Deacon on 3. Then Steve Dinsdale, Darrell Atkins and Shane King. We're minus Dinsdale. He's not out there, but look at David Armstrong go on the inside. Armstrong on the Kawasaki comes out in the lead for Queensland. Then we've got up on the outside of him on bike number 8, Stephen Andrew out of Victoria. Elbow to elbow motocross as Stephen Andrew tries to make a run through on the inside. Third place at the moment is Jimmy Deacon for Queensland. Then we've got the Kiwi, Darrell Atkins, followed by Victorian Dean Burt.
Keep an eye on Deacon though, he's making it like very unsavoury there. Moves up now to third spot as they come up over the jump, and there he's making a big run. Oh, bail out, Bordeaux. Yellow flags are waving.
Well, we dumped one of the Marlborough riders there, so David Armstrong doing a great job on the Kawasaki. So Deacon is up, but he's certainly lost everything. In fact, we've dumped both the Marlborough Yamaha riders in that incident. That's team tactics for you. So we've got David Armstrong, Kawasaki leading, and Darrell Atkins in second place for New Zealand on the Kawasaki in second. Greg Scott in third, riding for Triple M in third place. Fourth place is Dean Burt on 7.
Armstrong still doing it nicely, but Darrell Atkins from New Zealand is still closing it up all the time. They've taken the blue flag with 1 lap to go. Armstrong looks clear though. Kawasaki bike number 2 now as he makes it up over the Wreck Air higher jump. Here comes Atkins though, he hasn't given up. They smick under Yokohama and work their way down, and the Kiwi closing all the time. This is exactly the way he rode in Melbourne. Just look at him come on in the last stage of this race. It'll be Armstrong. Here comes the Kiwi up on the inside, but Armstrong gets there from Darrell Atkins. Then 16 back on the Triple M Pro Cycles. A very strong third. And bad luck to the Marlborough Yamaha boys who bit the dust so early in the race.
Well, that was pretty amazing stuff. I thought the Marlborough team had that one stitched up, but that was not to be. That was certainly team tactics working for you, wasn't it?
Sure was. All went to Marlborough country, straight over the hay bales and down into the second row.
With that sort of form, they could almost drive for the Williams team.
Yeah.
So, event number 18.
Oh, there's a few out there anyway. So nice to welcome you all along tonight. Night number 1 of the Supercross Masters.
Mike, this is the one where we really need some points. We being the Australians, we are 1 point behind the Americans in heat number 6 of the USA versus Australia Challenge. We're ready now for a start. And a tremendous start from number 11, and that's Peter Melton. So Australia makes a great start, but through on the inside is Stephen Gall. Go for it, Gawley. And look at Hollywood Holly out on the outside. Oh, Craig Dack tries to punch by. Oh, PJ almost copped it then. You're right there, PJ. Craig Dack went pretty close to nailing him, I'll tell you. And Dack is in trouble, he's off. Dack is down. The Americans are going to run away with this with 2 of our best players out of business. Goodness me, we've got Jim Hollywood Holly leading and Flash Gordon Ward in second, then Stephen Gall. We can't afford to do that.
Not wrong, and he gives the Yanks an absolute opener. Jim Hollywood Holly almost bouncing Flash Gordy Ward. Gordy having a bit of trouble here with the jumps tonight. However, here comes Craig Dack again. Everything is looking pretty good there. He is up in second for a spell. And of course Peter Melton. But here comes Hollywood Jim Holly. Flash Gordy Ward. And of course Stephen Gall. Jimmy Ellis still trailing though. Not going to make any difference to the outcome of this race.
Well, that's a real blow. Unfortunately, he can't afford to be that far back in the pack. But the Americans are doing a good job, and Jim Holly is doing the best job of all. Blue flag out for him. 1 lap to go. Further back, Flash Gordon Ward just playing rear gunner for the Americans. Stephen Gall picked up a bit of the Coke bunting as he goes beneath the Yokohama Bridge. So the checkered flag comes out now. This is going to be a great win to Jim Hollywood Holly for the USA. Flash Gordon Ward touching his heels on the Kawasaki. Stephen Gall third for Australia on number 6. And then quite a long gap back to Jimmy Ellis on the Kawasaki in 4th place. Craig Dack will finish in 5th on bike number 1, then followed by Peter Melton for the Marlborough team. Dacky just pulling up to make sure that PJ is okay, which was a nice gesture. He almost got him at the end of the first lap.
Almost took the sting out of his feet, didn't it?
It certainly did. The situation in the state of origin now, Victoria with 26 points, New Zealand with 22. They share that score at the moment with Queensland, and New South Wales with 20. So that's Victoria 26, New Zealand and Queensland with 22, and New South Wales with 20 points. Event number 19, Marlborough State of Origin, heat number 7, 4 laps the journey. And on the starting line for Coca-Cola, we've got Greg Scott. He's riding for Triple M. Mark Kirkman on 12, David Mayhew on 10, Stephen Andrew on 8, Jimmy Deacon on 3, David Armstrong riding Kawasaki number 2, then Darryl Atkins and Shane King, both on Kawasaki's, letters D and S. Heat number 7, the State of Origin, Victoria with a 4-point lead over the Kiwis. The Queenslanders trying to fight back. And a very tense situation in the Australia versus USA Super Challenge. Set now for a start, event number 19. And a great start on the inside, bike number 8, it was Stephen Andrew, but there's plenty of elbow motocross going through the first left-hander. Up on the outside for New Zealand is Darryl Atkins, but I think coming through with a bit of horsepower is Stephen Andrew. Look at the leap. Andrew is going for it as they go round the left-hander for Castrol up towards the back part of the double jump. And it's a fine start from Stephen Andrew.
You're not wrong, Neil. A fine start from the Marlborough Yamaha rider. That is Stephen Andrews on bike number 8. Stephen, of course, doing it for Victoria D. Darryl Atkins from New Zealand's hot on his heels. He's smelling the rubber now. Bike number 3, Jimmy Deacon's also in there. He's from Queensland. Greg Scott from New South Wales is back in 4th. Get behind the local boys. On bike number 2, back a bit further is Dave Armstrong, number 12 and number 10, Kirkman and Mayhew. And Mayhew is just causing mayhem at the back of the field, but it's still bike number 8. Stephen Andrew looking good.
Stephen Andrews stepping on the gas. But I tell you what, Darryl Atkins is getting closer to him though as they make their way down to the bottom quarter. Darryl Atkins from New Zealand trails Stephen Andrew now and starting to get all excited as they go over the Yokohama Bridge. And our race leader went to Paddington, then over the jumps. He's gone back from the lead to third spot. Making a big run up here on the outside is James Deacon. What a bad luck though for our race leader. That's Darryl Atkins from New Zealand. Comes beneath the Yokohama Bridge. He's looking good.
Darryl Atkins certainly is looking good. He's got half a lap to go until the checkered flag. Big Darryl Eastlake says this is a huge jump, and what a win it was. Bike number 3, Jimmy Deacon, will take the second hour. Leader originally was bike number 8, Stephen Andrew. He ended up in third with New South Wales. Greg Scott trailing him in 4.
On 152, Jason Convery. On queue number 8, we've got Jamie Greenwood, 211, Mark Wood, Troy Kilby and Tiffany Greenwood. We're almost ready to go racing. Except Mark Wood has got a problem there on 211. Got to give him time to fire it up. We're just about ready to go racing with part 2, night 1. Triple M presenting the Coca-Cola Supercross Masters here at the Sydney Entertainment Centre. And away very quickly indeed. 35 down on the inside was Tiffany Greenwood. All bobbling down there as they head out. Tiffany Greenwood on bike number 35 under a bit of pressure here. 214 up on the inside and goes through to take over the lead.
214, Brendan Oxford taking the lead. He was the late addition to this race, but he's looking good over the double jumps he goes. 35 on the inside, Tiffany Greenwood, side by side they go, up over the wreck air and down under Yokohama. In there in third spot, bike number 7, Troy Kilby, and fourth place, Mark Wood on bike 211.
Well, slight bit of problem there. They're going every which way. Oh, here come the leaders. 98's got a little bit sideways. 214, Troy leading it over there with Tiffany right back behind. Bike number 7 is Troy Kilby, back there in third spot, but it's pretty tight there up at the front.
Up over wreck air they go. Oh, we almost had a rider down. That was 214. That was Brendan Oxford. As a matter of fact, we have got one down. That was 35. Tiffany Greenwood over the back of wreck air. Yeah, up over the berm. She's going to get back on the bike and get going. She's off and racing back under Yokohama and over the Stutterbump. The race leader, Brendan Oxford, on bike 214. Up over wreck air and under Yokohama he goes. He's looking good on the Yamaha. 35, that's Greenwood back in the race again after that crash just over the back of wreck air.
Okay, race lead has not changed. Still Brendan Oxford. Here he comes. Blue flag is out there and he's doing it quite comfortable as he drops down into Castrol curve, the left-hander. Back up to work the back chute, so young Brendan's been doing really good. Young Tiffany Greenwood was running well there, that got out of shape in Yokohama corner. However, I mean, that can happen any time. Here comes Tiffany now, bike number 35, taking the blue flag, a long way back behind. I think it'll be young Oxford who will take over the lead. Here comes our race leader. Let's welcome into the checkered flag, Brandy Oxford. Okay, 152 up there and 98 getting across the line, so we will pick up and confirm the placings for you in just a moment.
Bike 214 was the winner. That was
for the Aussies. It's going to be pretty tight here.
80cc, 14 to 15 years, non-qualified. They're off and racing. Bike 26 was the whole shot, Nigel Arnold. We've also got Jamie Hansen on bike 29. Bike 40 is Jason Webster and Peter Lovering on bike 217. As the field sorts themselves out, it is Nigel Arnold in first place. Over the tabletop and over the double jumps he goes into that 90-degree left-hand turn, heading up for wreck air. Oh, 217, a bit of air. That's Peter Lovering. He lost that on the corner by 29. Jamie Hansen still stuck in second, but it's 26. Nigel Arnold up and going. We've got two riders down on the hairpin corner. Jason Webster and Peter Lovering. That leaves 29. Jamie Hansen in there in second, but the race is looking good for Nigel Arnold. He got the whole shot, and if Hansen could do anything about it, he won't lead this one at the end. Now two fallen riders, Lovering and Webster, back up and racing, and that'll be a scrap to watch at the back of the field. But Nigel Arnold going up over Yokohama, showing a lot of style and a lot of speed for a 14 to 15-year-old. Over the tabletop he goes with 2 laps remaining. 29, Jamie Hansen close behind him second. The dice red drop for third is on. Over Yokohama they go. Bike number 40, Jason Webster leading 2-1-7, Peter Lovering, who's back there in fourth, but they won't give up until the checkered flag drops. The blue flag is being shown by PJ, meaning 1 lap to go for the uninitiated. 26, Nigel Arnold's the first to take the blue flag. Jamie Hansen is second to take the blue flag. If Arnold doesn't do anything stupid, he's taken this one. A bit of a stall down in the corner, but he's back up and racing. Under Yokohama he goes. Hansen back there in second. Our third and fourth riders, Webster and Lovering, still scrapping for the minor positions. But our race winner, he led the race from go. He's going to lead it to Ode. Nigel Arnold takes this one. 29, Jamie Hansen will take the second. And as the battle for third and fourth still rages, it looks like it'll be bike number 40, Jason Webster, who will take the third, and Peter Lovering, who will take the fourth.
Thank you, Andy Raymond, for the call of the Kawasaki West 80cc non-qualifiers over 4 laps for the 14. And
Situation at the moment as we move to heat 7 of this challenge. The Americans lead by 8 points. USA have 49, Australia 41. So this is a race where we need a huge performance from Craig Dack, Glenn Bell and Stephen Gall. Gall, bike number 6, Bell, bike number 4, and Dack on the Yamaha number 1. Splitting them up, the Americans, Fast Eddie Warren, Jim Hollywood Holly, and American, of course, Jimmy Ellis. Holly is not happy. Now he's happy. In the starter's hands. Concentrating on the gate. Very important race this one. And down goes the gate. Craig Dack makes a huge start. Immediately goes to the lead. Goes in tight. Go for it, Craig Dack. Fast Eddie Warren in second place for the USA. And in third place, Australian rider Glenn Bell. So there's only one American in the top 3. Up on the inside is Jim Hollywood Holly, and he pushes Stephen Gall out the way. But Craig Dack with the lead.
okay, it's the Aussie under the Yokohama Bridge. Let's ride him home to victory. Craig Dack looking shot here against the top American riders to the top of the Yokohama Bridge. Look at him opening that gap after Fast Eddie Warren. 3 more to go. Warren holds second. Back behind them is Gordon Bell. Then Holly is the next one, followed by Stephen Gall and Jimmy Ellis. Again under the Yokohama Bridge, Craig Dack. The Dack attack. It opens the gap down into the left-hander. Don't be surprised, though, if the American doesn't come firing back over the top of the Yokohama Bridge. The gap is narrowing. It's Craig Dack for Australia, leading the fast American Eddie Warren. Warren is superb through that part of the racetrack. Coming up again over the top of Wreck Air. He bobbles it down beneath Yokohama, and it's Eddie Warren closing all the time. They've got about a lap and a quarter left to run. Up over the top of Yokohama, the American is closing. The blue flag is out. 1 lap to go. Can Craig Dack do it? Short straight up into the left-hander. Here comes Warren. They're all under a charge as they hit the top. Down beneath the Yokohama Bridge, and Warren gets it. Fantastic racing from Eddie Warren. Once again, Craig Dack pays the penalty. Over the top of Yokohama, you've got to admire a champion, ladies and gentlemen. Fast Eddie Warren leads it from Craig Dack, and elbows Jim Hollywood Holly. Gives Glenn Bell the what for in the last turn. I know Craig Dack rode the race of his life, but you've got to give it to Fast Eddie Warren. What a performance.
And what about the ride then from Jim Holly? He managed to take third place away from Glenn Bell right at the very end. Gave him a big elbow on the way through. And so the Americans picking up a first and a third, Australia second and fourth. It didn't look that way in the early heat, or the early part of the heat, I should say. So that was a huge result then for Jim Holly. How they got past Belly with about 10 metres to go, I'll never know. That one was brought to you by Wreck Air. Tonight's Supercross Masters wouldn't have gone ahead without the support of Wreck Air Hire. When it comes to building a Supercross circuit indoors, life gets complicated, and to solve all the niggling problems presented over the last 2 days, Wreck Air Hire came to the rescue. For access equipment like scissor lifts, boom lifts, cherry pickers, trailer lifts and scaffold, Wreck Air Hire. For generators, handyman equipment and portable buildings, Wreck Air Hire. In fact, for any job, big or small, Wreck Air Hire in Mascot, Brookvale, Regents Park and St Mary's. Okay, we're ready now for event number 23, the Marlborough State of Origin, heat number 8 over 4 laps. Big field of riders, we're set now for a start. And making a huge start, there was number 2, David Armstrong, but up on the outside was Deacon, and Jimmy Deacon going very quickly on the Yamaha. Deacon, then Dean Burt, then David Mayhew, and the 2 Kawasaki riders side by side with David Armstrong in fourth.
Well, the Kiwis are going to do it tough from here because Jimmy Deacon has got the wind out of his face and he is absolutely flying. Look at Dean Burt, though. He gets up there smartly in company with Mayhew. Down beneath Yokohama and working the short shoot to the left-hander, and Deacon and Burt are going at it. Burt down the inside. Couldn't pull it that time. It'll be Deacon for the Marlborough Yamaha team. Who'll lead from Dean Burt, riding for Brian Collins. Down through Marlborough corner. See if Burt can make up any more ground on the race leader. Up now to the Wreck Air Bridge. This is where Burt made it up beneath Yokohama. Closing all the time down on the inside. Back behind them is Mayhew. Then Darrell Aikens coming up fastly. The New Zealander on the inside looking for third. That big scrap at the lead is still on as Burt tries to close in on Deacon.
If Dean Burt can get past Jimmy Deacon, he's really looking good for the State of Origin. And Dean Burt through on the inside. Down goes Jimmy Deacon. He's out. The yellow flag has come through. Oh, goodness me. So Victoria doing a great job here. They've got 29 points, and Dean Burt about to get another win. Great ride here from Dean Burt as he gets the blue flag for just 1 lap to go. Burt on bike number 7. Second is Darrell Atkins for New Zealand. Third for Victoria is David Mayhew. Fourth is David Armstrong, then Glenn Poole. So this is a great result for the Victorian rider with half a lap to go. Deacon really very disappointed with himself, I'm sure, after that. Here comes Dean Burt. Up now to the checkered flag, and the Victorian takes a win. Second placing to number D, Darrell Atkins. Third placing to 10, David Mayhew. Then David Armstrong, Glenn Poole, Mark Kirkman in there as well. A fine result for the Victorian Dean Burt. Second and third, and Jason Hall. And here comes the kamikaze pilot. 78, Gavin Beasley, shooting for the stars again. The Wiser wants it. Oh, he might take it a bit easier this time, he said. I might just cruise across there this time, in fact. Oh dear. The non-qualifiers, aren't they great?
Gavin Beasley, as Neil said earlier, looked like he was going to headbutt Castrol sign down here. He's getting braver, or is he going to be very careful? Oh, that was nothing like his first attempt at it. Let me tell you right here and now, Jason Webster still holds second. And of course, Jason Hall back there in third spot. And they've spread themselves really, I guess, over probably 100 yards. No chance of a challenge here. The laps have run out almost, as our race leader works his way up over the top of the bridge again. Gavin Beasley will take the blue flag this time. That'll complete the non-qualifiers. Good on you, Gavin. Still running there in second spot is Jason Webster, and back behind them, Jason Hall. So the race and Jason attack the back chute for the final time over the Wreck Air Bridge and beneath the Yokohama. Non-qualifiers in the 125 class, sponsored by Just for the Record. And last corner about to come up for the rider of bike number 78, Gavin Beasley. He takes the checkered flag. Bit of style there from Gav. 40 across the line, Jason Webster, and Jason Hall will pick up the third place. So much for the Just for the Record non-qualifiers race over 4 laps.
Event number 25 is brought to you by Yokohama. This is the USA versus Australia Challenge Heat number 8. And the situation in the point score, USA 57, Australia 48. In the State of Origin, Victoria with 37, New Zealand with 31, Queensland with 29, New South Wales with 23. So the Americans are 9 points clear at the moment. On the grid we have Fast Eddie Warren, Jim Holly, Flash Gordon Ward, Glenn Bell, Peter Melton and Craig Dack. And this one really is important if the Aussies are going to get back.
Sure is for Craig Dack. He looked like he had the last one shot to bits and blew it. Flash Gordy Ward sits right in alongside him. Jim Holly is the next one. Peter Melton, of course. Let's see if Dacky can do it this time. And he gets out. No, Ward goes with him. He's been gathered up on the inside here. We'll see if anyone comes down. We straighten it up. Peter Melton, in fact, has gone through from Flash Gordon Ward. Trouble at the back of the pack, though.
Yeah, Craig Dack and Glenn Bell both tangled at the back of the pack. So Peter Melton leads, then Gordon Ward on the outside, and here comes Flash Gordon on the Kawasaki. Eddie Warren in third place, then Hollywood Holly, then Craig Dack, and then Glenn Bell. They won't be happy being in 5th and 6th.
Peter Melton looking good at this stage. Yes,
now goes Gordy Ward.
That was coming fast. Eddie Warren in 2nd place, 2 laps to go. Hollywood Jim Holly, the next one back, followed by Craig Dack, and then Glenn Bell, who's just up there. Can we come up with an Australian victory? Peter Melton doing it this time. Being tailed in here by fast Eddie Warren. They come up straight over the top of Yokohama. And the American is getting closer all the time. Here's Peter Melton coming to him. It's fast Eddie Warren. They got just on a lap and a bit to go. Warren on the inside, and now Hollywood Jim Holly on the inside as well, trying to split them as they come beneath the Yokohama Bridge, and Warren is closing on Melton.
He sure is. This is going to go all the way to the wire. We've got one hell of a battle. Australia versus the USA. Can Peter Melton stay there? There's just 1 lap to go. Peter Melton trying as hard as he can. There's about there. Oh, there goes on the outside the American Eddie Warren. He's so fast. Oh, and down goes Melton. No, he just survived. He just survived. This is amazing. Eddie Warren is so quick on this track. And look at Hollywood Holly through on the inside now. It might be a 1-2 for America. And the Americans take it 1 and 2. Unbelievable. Eddie Warren is pumped. And so's Holly. You've got to give them some credit. They did a fine job even though they're from the wrong side. Let's congratulate Jim Holly and fast Eddie Warren. Great
Fantastic
performance. Okay, the next one, event 26, Sugar Industries State of Origin, heat 9 over 4 laps. Mark Kirkman, Greg Scott, Stephen Andrew, Dean Burt, Jimmy Deacon, David Armstrong, Darryl Atkins and Shane King in the starters' hands. Racing with David Armstrong, gets a very good lead. Up on the outside of him is Jimmy Deacon. Deacon on the Mulberry Yamaha. Deacon to the lead. Look at the lead he's got already, up towards the Coke tabletop. Deacon, then followed by Armstrong, then Dean Burt. Great start from him. So as they go beneath the Yokohama Bridge, Jimmy Deacon already doing a good job with this one and stitching it right up.
That's right, Neil. Jimmy Deacon looking good on bike number 3, doing it for Marlboro Yamaha. The question is, can Deacon stay up? He's had a few falls tonight and he's not looking that crash hot. Sure, he's quick, but no, he's not stable. Young Dean Burt on bike number 7's back in there in second, and he's hot to trot. Look at this! Burt and Deacon side by side. Burt's got the lead. Up over Yokohama they go. It's Dean Burt doing it for Victoria. Jimmy Deacon doing it for Queensland. Back a bit further. David Armstrong and Shane King for New Zealand. But it's Burt and Deacon. Look at this go. Burt and Deacon swapping positions. They're riding side by side. David Armstrong's back there in 3rd. Shane King back in 4th. Followed by Greg Scott, and the field goes on and on. But it's Dean Burt receiving the 1 lap to go, and he's looking good. He's done this one from behind. Jimmy Deacon's not going to give up. Dean Burt over the big jump. Oh my God, Deacon stopped on top of the wreck air higher. He's not too happy with himself not having the best of nights. But it's Dean Burt up over Yokohama. Put your hands together. What a great ride. Dean Burt takes that one. David Armstrong for Queensland will take the 2nd. Shane King will take the 3rd. Followed by Jimmy Deacon, Greg Scott, Darryl Atkins, Mark Kirkman and Stephen Andrews. We've got one rider down at the bottom of the tabletop. Bike number 3, that was Jimmy Deacon. He rode so well throughout the race, but Dean Bird, give credit to the young man, he did well. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Jimmy Deacon's all right. Oh, Jimmy, my boy. He rode good, Darryl. Event number 27, the 80cc, 14 to 15 year finalist. We've got an 8-lapper on our hands. Bike number 32, Stephen Hill. Bike 272, Josh Donald. 171, Yanni Piesu. Bike number 3, Jason Andrew. Jason Borkowski's on 28. Paul Davies is on 253. 264 is Adam Burton. And 85, Jamie Lamb. They're off and racing. 80cc action coming your way. Josh Donald, as expected, took the whole shot and he leads over Yokohama. We've got a bit of a tangle rider down on the first hairpin corner, but it's Josh Donald looking the goods. Keep in mind, this is an 8-lap race. All the heats were 4 laps. This will test the stamina of these riders. Josh Donald gets a bit mixed up, but he's back and riding. Up towards Yokohama. Our fallen rider was bike 264, Adam Burton. He's back up and going. But look at Josh Donald go on bike 272. He's doing it for Triple M and Pro Cycles. An 80cc and 125 man tonight. He's looking the goods. Up over Wreck Air Hire he goes. Bike 32 back in second. That's Stephen Hill. Donald has opened up a bit of the gap on the field, but this is an 8-lap race. And in motocross, it's not finished until the checkered flag drops. Back in third place, 253. That's Paul Davis. And hot on his trail, 167, Yanni Piesu. But the race leader is definitely looking the goods tonight, Joshua Donald. I don't think he's been beaten all night, both in 80s and 125 racing. Up over Yokohama he goes, doing it, I said before, for Triple M and Pro Cycles. He's decked out in the fluorescent orange, you can't miss him. 32 still back there in second, that's Stephen Hill. Paul Davies followed by Yanni Piesu, Jason Andrews, Jason Borkowski, Jamie Lamb, and that makes up the field. Oh, Donald lapping slower riders now. That was bike number 264, Adam Burton, that he lapped, but Donald is really looking hot tonight. One of the big events this is for the younger riders on their circuit. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, these are the younger superstars of the future that you're looking at today, and believe me, say in 10 years' time, the name Joshua Donald will be a household name in motocross. He is looking great. He's got the style, he's got the speed. Still back there in second, hanging on to Stephen Hill. He hasn't really been challenged for his second spot. 253, Paul Davies. gate, it's Stacey Oldman. And boy, did Stacey clean house in event 1. We're under the starters flag. Let's go racing! And look at Alderman! From position 1, round the field he goes! Up over Yokohama. You can throw a blanket on the other 7. But here goes Alderman, a steady rider. Up over the tabletop for the first time. 86 Dale Ward is back there in second. Along with fellow riders by 20 and 22. That's Joel Elliott and Ian Cunningham. But it's Alderman doing it for Kawasaki West, really looking the goods. He won his heat by a nautical mile earlier in the night. And the gap he's got going now could eventuate into even bigger things for this young man. 86, back there in second, Dale Ward. Bike number 20, Joel Elliott is back there in third. The scrap for second and third is awesome. 3 riders, 86, 22, 20. Not far behind, we've got bike number 14 and 441. Wayne McGurney and Paul Grant. Alderman over Yokohama, into the left-hander and up over the tabletop one more time. Bike 86, Dale Ward's holding on to his second place position. But I tell you what, slowly catching Ward. 5 riders now all wanting that second place. Bike number 20, that was Joel Elliott, a bit of a slip under the Yokohama bridge. Relegates him from 3rd back to 5th. But Alderman again, once more over that tabletop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 riders battling for our second position. They're 2 abreast down the back. Look at it go. It's 20, 22, 86 and 441. Ian Cunningham, Dale Ward and Paul Grant all battling for our second position in this, the 80cc 12 to 13 years final. 8 laps is the duration. Alderman from Grant, from Ward. Ian Cunningham back in 4th, followed by bike 14, Wayne McGurney. Bike 20, Joel Elliott, a bit of a slip under the bridge before putting back a few places. Bike 488, John DeStefano. Back a fair way in the field, and not forget 335, Peter Lowcock. But Stacey Alderman is definitely looking the goods. Bike 441, Paul Grant is not about to give up lying down. Look at the battle for 3rd over near Wreck Air, higher than Mini Bridge. Oh, 86, you're meant to turn left, my man. He went straight ahead and track said left. What the hell, he was having a good race. It's still bike number 0, Stacey Alderman. From the start, he started in position 1, the extreme outside on the gate. And looking the goods, 86 is going to rejoin us, that's Dale Ward. But it's Alderman and Paul Grant, they're the 2 to watch, and here comes Grant up over Yokohama. Alderman cuts him off, the blue flag, 1 lap to go, and what a race we have on our hands. Both riders up in the air, oh, and by 4, Grant's made the break. Alderman back in second, on the inside comes Alderman, looking good. Paul Grant on bike 441, a definite dark horse in this race, is looking the good, so we've got a quarter of a lap over Yokohama we go. Put your hands together, bike 441, Paul Grant takes the win. A disappointed Stacey Alderman will take the second, Ian Cunningham will take the third, followed by bikes 14, Wayne McGurney, and 20, Joel Elliott.
And a great call there too from Andrew Raymond of the 80cc action tonight here at the Sydney Entertainment Centre. And we've seen some great racing from the few years, and they've all done well. Let's go backside to Neil Croft.
Thank you, Mike Raymond, and congratulations to Paul Grant. A fine ride in the 12 to 13s on the 80s. Put your hands together again. He did a great job. Paul Grant, the man here with the Honda. Paul, there's your tray for the big win. Running out of hands. Congratulations. You really did a great job, but by gee, you had to fight for that one.
I don't know what to say.
You're huffing and puffing a bit. When you're winning, it is hard to figure out what to say, but I reckon you did a great job. and we congratulate you. It was a fine performance. We look forward to seeing you here again.
I'd just like to thank El Greco Hotel for McGee, Castro and Champion. Thanks a lot.
Fantastic. Hands together for him. It was a great ride. Paul Grant. Keep the applause going because Joshua Donald did a great job for Triple M and Pro Cycles. He took out the 14 to 15s. Well done, Josh.
Thanks a lot.
Plenty of fans out there. There's your tray. And I've freed up a hand now. Well done. It was a hard ride for you too.
Yeah, about halfway during the race. You know how many laps to go and just tried to stay there.
All right, well, we thought it was a fine job. Look forward to seeing you again. And if you come back to the Entertainment Centre, I know you'll draw plenty of fans and friends. Well done, Joshua Donald, the winner of the 14 to 15 year age group for the 80s. Thank you, fellas. Well done. Now, a very important part of the program, those of you who are Supercross fans no doubt saw those Coke tins, millions of them that were distributed right, is to get some reaction from you guys. If you like what you see, give him a round of applause. Whoa! Go for it, Scotty. That sun plug was a long way up there, I'll tell you. Greg Scott. No, he's not finished yet. Up on one wheel, I should say. Get it right. This is Daryl Atkins from New Zealand. What about a big round of applause for Greg Scott? What did you think of his performance? Okay, we're monitoring that with my special DB meter. Here comes Daryl Atkins from New Zealand. Whoa! What an enormous leap from the Kiwi. There must be a few folks here from Bondi. Give him a rev. Daryl Atkins. Come on, there's got to be some more in it for Daryl Atkins. That was a good performance. Okay, Fast Eddie Warren from the USA. We've seen some great racing from him tonight. Triple M's expression session. The riders cut loose, going for crowd support. Let's see what he can generate for us. Go for it, Eddie. Whoa! That was one heck of a cross-up. How'd you like to do that on a KX250 Kawasaki every day of the week? What about it for Eddie Warren? He did a fine job. Next man out, please. I think we've got Craig Dack up next on bike number 1. Yeah. Have we? Yeah, Craig Dack, okay. Craig Dack, twice Mr. Motocross champion, multiple Australian champion, #1 plate holder in this country, and here he comes. Go for it, Craig! Whoa! And a big cheer for Craig Dack. Well, that was pretty sensational. Craig Dack's got it so far, but here comes the man who goes crazy in midair. Flash Gordon Ward, all the way from California. Watch what this guy can do with a motorcycle. I don't call him Flash Gordon for nothing. Watch this. Oh, no! This presents a problem. I can't separate Craig Dack from Flash Gordon Ward. We'll have to go for a recount. Who thought Craig Dack did the best job? Who thought Flash Gordon Ward did the best job? Craig Dack is the victor. Well done, Craig. Great performance. Let's get on with the racing. The junior final now for the 125s. We've got 3 races to go.
Yes, sirree. Bike number 21 is Tony Elliott, 88. Greg Timmins, of course, 3. Clayton Chapman, 25. Jamie Cunningham. Joshua Donald back in there along with Paul Davies, Glenn Robinson and Justin Lerman. This is going to be one hot final. The 125 final, sponsored, of course, by Castrol. Oils ain't oils.
The 2 to watch in this one on bike number 3, Clayton Chapman, and 272, Joshua Donald.
Racing! Just look at him fly. Getting out smartly was Clayton Chapman down on the inside, but Joshua Donald, I think, has got through to take over the lead. It's young Joshua. Got yellow flags out down there, but it'll be Donald leading them across the straight.
Clayton Chapman back there in second spot. And not too far behind them is Tony Elliott. Joshua Donald doing it nicely up there for Triple M Pro Cycles. Coming down beneath the Yokohama Bridge, and in hot pursuit after him is, of course, Clayton Chapman. They'll work over the backside of the course, coming up now to complete one more lap. Doing it for Triple M FM, Joshua Donald, but look at Clayton Chapman. He is really gassing it up. Moving on to the back straightaways, getting closer all the time as they make it to the Wreck Air Bridge, down on the outside this time. Down on the left-hander, working their way up to Yokohama, and the challenge continues.
Joshua Donald, he won the 80s before. He's going for his quinella tonight. It's 272. Josh Donald followed by Clayton Chapman on bike number 3. They're heading up to Wreck Air, and down under Yokohama they go. It's Donald. Chapman, bike 21 back there in third. That's Tony Elliott. They're the first 3. The rest of the field is a bit of a jumble. They're all spread out. Our main guys to watch, 272 Donald and bike number 3 Chapman. Here goes Chapman underneath Donald, and what a move! Up past Wreck Air, under Yokohama they go.
Clayton Chapman has taken the lead, but Joshua Donald wants part of the action, but he's come adrift. Bad luck indeed where he came down there, but it'll still be Clayton Chapman.
Joshua Donald is down, that leaves the gate right open for Clayton Chapman. This event, of course, 8 laps. Bike 21 in there in second is Tony Elliott. I guess third, Justin Lehrman on bike 300. Donald's back up in there in fifth. In fourth place, of course, is Jamie Cunningham. But the race leader, Clayton Chapman, looking the goods at the moment on bike number 3. That's him coming down the left-hander up over the tabletop.
Clayton Chapman riding for Kawasaki West, standing on the gas. Still back in second spot is Tony Elliott, and back there in third is Justin Lerman. And to his credit, all the time Joshua Donald is coming back through the field. That's him riding for Triple M and Pro Cycles, coming up over the Wreck Air Higher Bridge. Race leader Clayton Chapman riding Kawasaki, getting plenty of air. Boy, almost came off that sucker.
Yes, that was Chapman almost down at the end of the tabletop. That tabletop has claimed a lot of victims tonight, but Chapman is really looking the goods. Another one to keep your eye on was the previous race leader. That was Joshua Donald. He fell just a bit after Chapman passed him, but he's looking good and making his way back through the field. But as the race goes on, I think it's Clayton Chapman who's looking the safest. On bike number 3, up over Wreck Air and under Yokohama.
Clayton Chapman comes under Yokohama's going bananas, down into the left-hander. Wow, we've got a brush going on here for fourth place. Blue flag at the ready. Here comes our race leader for the 125 final. Doing it for Castrol. Clayton Chapman really getting it to work. 21 back there in second. Tony Elliott, and in third place Justin Lerman. And Joshua Donald has come back to fourth place. And look at Joshua Donald looking for third.
Clayton Chapman making his way up over Yokohama. He passed Donald earlier in the race. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Clayton Chapman's the winner. Bike 21, Tony Elliott will take the second. And look at Josh Donald, bike 272, into fourth. Third position was Justin Lehrman. And Donald, what a ride that was. How about a round of applause for Joshua Donald? He had to do it the hard way. But let's give the credit where it's due. Clayton Chapman, a fine ride for first.
Sure, you'll appreciate the fact that we've got some great supporters here this evening. I reckon one of the most spectacular things on the track tonight must be the Wreck Air Container Services double jump over the other side. Let's show our appreciation now for Wreck Air for doing a great job for us. They really have helped this week. Let's congratulate them. Thank you very much, Wreck Air. And quickly before the final, let's thank Coca-Cola and Triple M for their marvellous support of this event. Let's hear it for the two big sponsors. Okay, we're ready now for the State of Origin. Victoria with a handy lead. They've got 42 points, and to call all the action, Mike Raymond. Thank you, Neil. Ready for the State of Origin final. Should be one heck of a start. Kirkman in there. Keep in mind Jimmy Deacon also making it through there in the final. He's had some bad luck tonight. Daryl Atkins from New Zealand, also another one to watch. To go back and do it again, trying to repeat it is often a very difficult thing to do. Keep an eye also on Dean Burt, bike number 7. He's been riding really strong here tonight. Here we go again. Racing. Jimmy Deacon again, a very good start on the Yamaha as they go through the left-hander. Deacon the leader, then followed by Dean Burt. Up into third place is the Kiwi on the Kawasaki. Look at Greg Scott. Oh, Scotty desperately trying to get through on the inside. They're playing for keeps. Plenty of sneak and peek, and that's Deacon under the Yokohamas going bananas. There he leads them down the back chute. They're coming up as Burt again, and they are side by side over the top of Yokohama. Burt trying to pull him in. They're coming in for the completion of the first lap. Jimmy Deacon of Queensland. Dean Burt is the next one through. Glenn Siverson goes through. And Daryl Atkins down on the inside running their 5th. Dean Burt's really closing up now for Victoria. He's in 2nd place and pushing the leader all the way. Not very much separating them now as they get up towards the top of the Yokohama Bridge. Round through the left-hander. Boy, they're going for it. Look at Dean Burt now, really putting some pressure on the Queenslander, Deacon. Bike number 3, riding the Yamaha. He's got another Yamaha hot on his heels. And look at the scrap for 3rd place. Greg Scott is going for it at the moment. Here goes Scotty again. Couldn't get through. Now he does. Big one from Scotty. They're big ball stuff, that stuff. And Scotty has now made it up into 3rd, and just watch him come under the Yokohama Bridge. If anything goes wrong up front here between Deacon and, of course, Dean Burt, he's going to be there to pick up the pieces. Coming in for the completion of another lap, Jimmy Deacon riding for Mulberry Yamaha. And here's Burt now making up the ground on the inside. Great Scott all over the place, but making still some ground here as he goes into the left-hander. Here's Burt making an exercise down on the inside, goes wide for the cutback. Heading up once again over the top of Yokohama. Burt is all over Deacon. They come in for the approach to the tabletop. Deacon looking sharp though. Burt's there, and Greg Scott. Daryl Atkins trying to stay with them though. At this stage though, the Queenslander James Deacon riding for Mulberry Yamaha gets over the top of Yokohama, just holding that bike length gap over Dean Burt. Then, of course, Greg Scott has been a star in this race. Daryl Atkins of New Zealand is the next one back. Kirkman also well positioned as they make their way over the top of the Wreck Air Bridge. Well, with Dean Burt dropping out like that, that's made life a bit easier for the Queenslanders, but Bertie's still giving it plenty at the moment. Here comes Jimmy Deacon, bike number 3. He's going for it. Greg Scott behind him. Triple M and Pro Cycles. Then Daryl Atkins. Then Dean Burt. I tell you what, the Victorians aren't travelling too well here. Oh! Daryl Atkins has gone down on the Kawasaki. The yellow flag is out. He's a bit sore, but it looks like he might be okay. Checkered flag comes out. It's a great win for Jimmy Deacon. Oh, go for it, Greg Scott. And Dean Burt finishes 3rd for Victoria. Deacon the winner. 2nd place was Greg Scott. And 3rd place, fine performance, Dean Burt. Well, that was an excellent ride from the Queenslander and a very good ride from the New South Welshman. And that makes the point score very interesting. We'll give it to you shortly. What about a hand for the riders in the State of Origin final tonight, brought to you by Triple M. Bike number 6, Crane back on bike number 1, Glenn Bell on bike number 4, and Peter Milton on bike number 11. This is the one that counts, ladies and gentlemen. 66 points to the USA, 54 to Australia, but there's big points up for grab in the final. The Aussies might be able to do it, but they've got to really trounce the Americans. They've got to crush them in the first 3 positions. Mike Raymond, this is a pretty tense situation. The Aussies have got a lot of points to make up. I don't think they can possibly do it. You've got Fast Eddie Warren's going to be hard to beat in this one. Ready for the start. They're racing. And actually best to begin was Craig Dark on the inside. Can he hold the lead? Here he comes down the back chute and he's tussling up on the inside. Fast Eddie Warren has got the lead though. Fast Eddie leads it from Craig Dack, Flash Gordy Ward, then out on the outside. On the Marlboro Yamaha doing it fast, Jim Holly back on the inside, but they close it up behind Fast Eddie Warren, Craig Dack and Flash Gordy Ward. That's the order. Ward making a lot of ground here down the back chute, but Dack now gets away from him over Yokohama. And Eddie Warren making absolute mincemeat of the opposition. They swing through the inside, and Warren, who has been a class of his own here tonight. Craig Dack having his best run so far. He's staying intact there as they come beneath Yokohama and putting the pressure on. Fast Eddie Warren, hot favourite for this year's Coca-Cola Triple M Supercross Masters. One more lap completed. Second spot still held by Craig Dack, Flash Gordy Ward. Hollywood Holly is the next one, followed by Glenn Bell. That's the order as they make their way to the bottom corner. Jimmy Ellis just a little bit off the pace there, and Stephen Gall not doing too bad at all, though he landed awkwardly over the handlebars that time. Fast Eddie Warren of the USA is the leader. Craig Dack running there in second place as they make their way beneath the Yokohama Bridge. Dack, can he make up the ground? Hollywood Holly is back there in third. Flash Gordy Ward doing his best, and Glenn Bell. That's the order. It's unchanged as Fast Eddie really gets some air. Craig Dack really standing on the gas as he comes across the... Oh, Flash Gordy as well. Down into the left hand, and they work the back chute. The race leader is already well and truly on his way. Fast Eddie Warren up to the Yokohama Bridge. 10 laps the distance of tonight's Coca-Cola versus USA Australia final. Tomorrow night there's no team tactics. They ride as individuals. Fast Eddie, and in fact it's Glenn Bell that's getting very close to Flash Gordy Ward. They're working the back straight at the moment. Stephen Gall still in the thick of things, but Fast Eddie Warren coming up to put a lap on Jump and Jim Ellis. Second place, Craig Dack, and the yellow comes down, and Craig Dack has gone through to take over the lead. Craig Dack of Australia for the final. Hollywood Holly of the USA running in second place. Here they come down the back straight. Can Craig Dack hold them out? Here he comes up on the inside. Hollywood Holly down the inside, tries to gouge him.
Come on, let's hear it for Craig Dack. He's fighting for Australia at the moment. Dack is barely hanging on. Oh, and Holly squeezes through. Oh! Down go the Americans. Goodness me. Come on, Craig Dack is in front. Oh, my goodness me. Craig Dack has got the lead. Craig Dack.
That puts Flash Gordon Ward into second place. There's yellow flags waving everywhere. But the man who leads it, here he comes.
Go
Craig Dack. Gordon Ward is in second place. Ellis back behind them, but it's going, hopefully, to be an Australian victory. The blue flag is getting ready at the moment. Hollywood Holly, they're all at 6s and 7s. Racing up to the Yokohama Bridge. 1 lap to go. Here is our man, Craig Dack. He's only got one more lap to complete this for the big final of the USA Australia Challenge. Flash Gordon Ward of the USA is closing. Deacon's doing his best as well. They come up to the Yokohama Bridge. The last corner, the test final. Craig Dack, the winner. Flash Gordy Ward and Dinsdale get across the line. The grand final has gone to the Aussie champ, Craig Dack. What a sensational performance there from Craig Dack to take a victory in the Coca-Cola USA versus Australia Challenge. Well done, Dacker. We'll have interviews in just a matter of moments. Neil Crompton talking with the winners tonight, and we will give you the final points. Well, Neil will pass those on to you. But as he takes his helmet off, it was a race of changing fortunes, but the Aussie won the final tonight. Craig Dack, let's hear it for Craig and the Brian Collins team. Hollywood Jim Holly will pick up second. Ladies and gentlemen, now to Neil Crawford. What an incredible final for tonight's program. Before we get to the formal part of the presentation for the guys that have just done so well for Australia in the USA, let's first of all bring up the winner of the junior final and congratulate, please, for his fine win, Clayton Chapman. Well done, Clay. You done good. And it was a fine ride, and there is your prize. You rode well on the Kawasaki. Well done.
Yeah, I had a bit of problem earlier on the night. I hurt my arm a bit, but it all came together, and I'd like to give a special thanks to George Gallis for helping me out. He's really great. Also, I'd like to thank Kawasaki West for getting my bike going really well, and all my other sponsors. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Clayton Chapman, and what about a wave to the crowd over the back here as well? I think you've done a fine job. Well done. He took out the Castrol 125 Junior. Now to the Triple M State of Origin, and the news is that the Southerners did it. Victoria the winners with 56 points, Queensland second with 52, New South Wales 44, and New Zealand with 40. What about a hand for Victoria? And the captain of the Victorian team, the fella that went so well tonight, was Dean Burt. He was riding the Yamaha number 7 and did a great job. Well done, Dean.
Yeah, thanks. It's really hard out there racing. If you don't get a start, you have to come through, and it's really hard. And I'd just like to congratulate Stephen and that as well for helping us out. And just can't wait till tomorrow night. It should be really close.
Thank you, Dean. We're looking forward to that indeed. Congratulations. I'm sure everybody at the Brian Collins team are wrapped with your performance, and Victoria will be proud of you. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Triple M State of Origin, Victoria, and their spokesman, Dean Burt. I've got good news and bad news. You see, Craig Dack did very well in that final, but the Americans win with 76 points to 72. Oh dear. Oh dear. Jim Hollywood Holly is reasonably pumped up, I might say. Congratulations. That was a fine performance. The Cup, you've done a great job, son, and Coca-Cola are proud of you. I'm sure you've got a few people to thank.
Oh yeah, I'd like to thank both Phil Harrison and Phil Christensen and Coca-Cola and everyone involved in putting together this Masters program. I thought it turned out really well. I thought we blew it there when me and Eddie landed on me over there. I thought for sure they went to the championship, but I guess we had good rides all through the heat races and stuff, so fortunately we came out on top, and all I can say is everyone should go home and tell their neighbors, because there's going to be one hell of a race here tomorrow night.
Indeed, and you must have had a fine team of support riders. Gordy Ward, you did a great job tonight.
Yeah, those guys ended up crashing in front of me, so I ended up coming in second, which is really good. I hung right in there, and we did it.
Well done, son. But, all right, one more but.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank also Jimmy Ellis. He contributed to the team, and also Eddie Warren and Jojo Keller, who couldn't be with us tonight because he broke his leg because Eddie landed on him in practice.
That's teamwork for you. Okay, well done. A big cheer for the Americans. They're the victors tonight. But.